We are coming up on an incredibly pivotal election. It's a historic election, and we're kind of heading into the home stretch here. And all of it is happening in the midst of a public health crisis. And healthcare remains a top priority for voters all across the country and in Georgia as well. COVID has really magnified the critical problems that exist in our healthcare system, particularly the disparities that of color are experiencing in health outcomes during this pandemic. And we know that we need practical solutions for our policymakers and candidates to address both the short term and the long term problems in our healthcare system. So we really put together this guide to help voters think about both the important issues that they are thinking or that candidates should be thinking about, and to give voters the tools to engage with those candidates, both how to register, where to go and vote, strategies for voting, but then also how to engage with candidates directly, whether that be through a candidate forum, a virtual coffee hour, or just sending them a note to talk about what is most important to them. Voters really should be looking for concrete policy recommendations from candidates who will soon be elected officials about ways that they are going to address some of these really big challenges that people are experiencing when they're trying to access and pay for their healthcare coverage. So some of the things that we might suggest candidates or that voters ask candidates are questions like, what would you do to create a healthcare system that is reliable, fully resourced, and available whenever an individual needs it? Or what efforts would you take to improve our healthcare system to care for everyone, and particularly people who are vulnerable and those who were already struggling before the pandemic hit? On the voter guide, there are links to state-specific resources that talk about where to go and vote, answer questions about opportunities to vote early, or kind of what the rules are or processes are in your individual state to make sure that you are able to vote either ahead of time before Election Day or on November 3rd. As a nonpartisan nonprofit seeking to ensure every person in America has access to quality, affordable healthcare, really to help voters engage on the issues that are most critical to them as they're thinking about this upcoming election. But we know that it is also important that voters have clear and accurate information about how to then go and vote. And so we have linked to partner organizations, information and resources that they have put together to provide that type of information. It's critically important to do research to understand kind of what candidates are committing to do and how it aligns with your own individual values and the goals that you have for what policy outcomes you'd like to see accomplished once they're elected into office. And so really having that baseline of understanding is going to enable voters to do a better job of voting for the people that are going to best achieve the things that they would like